Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing MomFlex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, MomFlex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive, because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit momflex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the label, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every step. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive.
Welcome back to Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive. I'm your host, LaFortune, and as we step into 2026, I want to start this new year with honesty, not comfort, not cliche, but truth. Recently, I was scrolling through Instagram and I heard something that stopped me in my tracks. I heard men on a podcast saying that single mothers are the reason kids end up troubled, incarcerated, or lost. That somehow raising a child without a father automatically dooms them. And I'm going to say this clearly right from the start. That narrative is not only harmful, it's incomplete, it's deeply unfair, and it's for lazy people who don't want to do their research. Because what it really does is shift responsibility. It ignores system. It ignores data and trauma. It ignores absent accountability. And it places the weight of every outcome on the shoulders of the women who were already doing the work alone. Today's episode, my friend, is not about attacking men. No. That's not what I'm about. It's not about finger pointing, and it is definitely not about excusing harm or dysfunction. This episode is about context. It's about asking why we are quicker to blame the parent who stayed than question the one who left. Why we scrutinize mothers for not doing enough while overlooking poverty, violence, lack of access, mass incarceration, mental health, underfunded schools, and yes, absent parents without father accountability. Single mothers are not raising children in a vacuum. They are raising them while working multiple jobs, while navigating broken system, while carrying emotional labor, financial pressure, and societal judgment, often with little to no support. And yet, many of them are raising doctors, leaders, creatives, healers, a whole humans who break cycles. So today, we are talking about the myth that single motherhood equals failure. We are tackling and talking about how that belief harms kids more than it helps them. And we are going to talk about what children actually need to thrive because it's bigger than gender, it's deeper than household labels. If you are a single mother who's ever felt blamed for circumstances you didn't create, this conversation is for you. If you are someone who's repeated that narrative without questioning it, stay with me. And if you are, or you have care about kids, family, and truth, and or you care about family and truth, then this episode matters to you. So grab whatever you are sipping on, take a deep breath, and let's unpack a story that's been told wrong for far too long.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our life.
Let's start with the obvious question. Why is the parent who stayed the one under attack? Why is the mother who woke up every day, showed up exhausted, stretched paychecks, navigated schools, doctors, emotion, and survival the one we point fingers at? But the parents who left, the one who disappeared emotionally, financially, physically, their silence, excuses, or was praise for trying later, that imbalance matters. We need to look deep within our soul and question our belief system and question how we approach situation and how we view others. Are we viewing them with the proper lenses, or are we viewing them because we just want to spear any narrative that we want to, just because they are single mothers? Let's talk reality. A single mother working two jobs, for example, she drops her child off at daycare at 6 a.m., picks them up at 6 p.m., helps them with homework, cooks dinner, manages behavior, emotional regulation, pays her bills, and her own exhaustion she tried to manage. Alone, no help, no outside help, just her. Now imagine that same child acting out in school. Society asks, what kind of mother is she? Where did she go wrong? Hmm? But rarely do we ask, where was the other parent? Where was the support system? Where were the resources? That's not accountability. We are scapegoating the other parents. And we have to start asking questions. Let's talk about a teenage boy grows up without his father present. He struggles with anger, authority, and identity. The narrative then becomes, he was raised by a single mom, that's why. Hmm. But what if the real story is this? He grew up wondering why his father didn't choose him. Why did his father abandon him? Why did the father choose the other family instead of him? He internalized abandonment as a rejection. He lacked mentorship, community intervention, and emotional tools. That's not a single mother problem. That's a father absence and societal neglect problem. Have you guys thought about that? Have that crossed anybody's mind instead of pointing fingers at single mothers to question that, to ask those questions? We avoid the truth. The uncomfortable truth is single motherhood is not the cause of broken outcomes. Unaddressed trauma, poverty, lack of community, and an absence of accountability are. Blaming single mothers is easier than confronting the system that fails families, generational trauma, mass incarceration, underfunded schools, mental health neglect, and yes, fathers who walk away without consequences. The blame is simple. The truth is complex. And like my grandmother usually used to say to me, she say, honey, the truth always takes the stairs, while the lie takes the escalators. And guess who gets there first? The lie. So we use the blame all the time, while the truth is so uncomfortable, nobody wants to talk about it. So let's talk about the kids who thrive, that is being raised by a single mother and thrive. Because the story doesn't end where critics want it to. There are children raised by single mothers who become doctors, entrepreneurs, teachers, artists, leaders, emotionally aware, compassionate individuals and adults. Why? Because one consistent, loving, present caregiver, even under pressure, can be powerful. Single mothers don't ruin children. They raise them while fighting uphill battles most people never acknowledge. When we blame single mothers, we shame women for circumstances they didn't always choose. We teach children that their upbringing is a deficit. We let absent parents off the hook instead of making them accountable. And we distract from solutions that could actually help families thrive. Blame does not heal kids. Blame does not support kids. Support does. So what do children actually need? That's the question we're going to answer when we come back.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive, single parents we rise and thrive.
So what do children actually need? They need stability, emotional safety, accountability from all adults involved, mentorship, community, resources, and love that shows up consistently. And that love is often provided by the single mother who's left behind. Have you noticed something? None of that requires perfect family structure. It requires present human. If you're a single mother and you are listening to me right now, if no one has said this to you lately, let me say it to you clearly. You are not the problem. Your efforts matters. Your love counts. And your children are not statistics waiting to fail. You are doing great work in this society that often criticize you instead of supporting you. So I just want to say this is 2026. And I wanted this episode to be very small. So I'm going to be closing. Not feeling well today, but I wanted to come and let you guys know that I am still here. I am still here supporting you, and that this podcast is still going and is still here. So as we step into 2026, as we continue into 2026, I want us to be better and to do better than recycle blame narratives. Let's ask better questions. Let's hold the right people accountable. And let's stop tearing down the very parent holding families together with bare hands and tired hearts. I will leave you with this quote. It's easier to blame the parent who stay than to confront the system and people who fail to show up. Because blaming the one who stay requires no courage. It doesn't ask us to question broken system. It does not ask us to demand accountability from absent parents. And it damn sure doesn't require us to sit with the discomfort and how often society abandons families once the headlines fade. But confronting what fell, the support, the resources, the protection, the consistency, that takes honesty, that takes responsibility, and that takes empathy. When we choose understanding over blame, we stop reducing families to stereotypes and start seeing them as human. We stop shaming survival and start asking how we can support growth. And most importantly, we create space for healing, not just for parents, but for the children who are watching how the world talks about their lives. If you have been listening and you are a single parent and you're a single mother, thank you for listening to Beyond the Struggle, Rise and Thrive. If this episode resonated with you, share with someone who needs to hear it, someone who's been carrying quiet guilt, misplaced blame, or an incomplete story. And remember this, growth begins when we stop blaming and start understanding. Until next time, keep rising, keep thriving. Ciao now.
Single parenting can feel like a solo journey, but it doesn't have to be. Introducing MomFlex app, the ultimate village web app designed just for you. From financial support to community connections, MomFlex app offers a lifeline, helping you navigate parenting with confidence. Find trusted resources, build your support network, and thrive, because every parent deserves a village. Join the movement today. Visit MomFlex.org to install the app and take the first step toward a stronger, more supported you.
Every day's a battle, every step a climb, but we're standing tall, we're building our lives. Through the sleepless nights and the endless fight, we rise, we shine, we hold on tight. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. Stories of triumph, stories of grace. Single parents with dreams to chase. They said we'd break, they said we'd fall, but look at us now, we're standing tall. We are more than the labels, more than the pain, breaking the cycle, rewriting the game. Stronger together we lift, we strive. Single parents, we rise and thrive. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. We push through the stigma, defy every stat. They don't define us, and that's a fact. A village of love, a future so bright. Hand in hand, we own our life. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive. Turning our pain into power, we're alive. We see you, you matter, you're strong inside. Together we shine, we rise, we thrive. The journey is tough, but we're not alone. In this village we found our home. So lift your head, let your spirit fly. Beyond the struggle, we rise and thrive.